Okay, so we're going to be going through my latest Substack newsletter post. You can read it for yourself, but this video I'm going to be explaining it, giving you a video overview so you can watch me. It's more personable, more relatable to you. How your thoughts limit your success. And by the way, if you see me looking to the side, it's because I'm reading the article, but I'm giving my amazing advice at the same time for your benefit. So your thoughts limit your success. If any of you watching this video have ever tried meditating, you will realize that once you hit that point of bliss, where nothing is said anymore, the narratives you tell yourself, the stories you tell yourself, you don't hear it. People who meditate will know what I'm on about. If you haven't meditated in your life, you need to start. But your thoughts limit your success. We tell ourselves stories constantly in our minds. I remember an experience where I did this guided meditation, and guided meditations work, by the way. I did this guided meditation where I looked at my hand, and I won't go into the meditation here because this sort of information is a bit sketchy in today's day and age. But I was looking at my hand, and all of a sudden my thoughts stopped and I hit source. I hit that pure consciousness. The divine power, the divine spark, whatever you want to call it, the divine within you, I hit it. And at that point, I remember I was laying there. All the stories I've been telling myself had stopped. All the internalized shame, all the internalized guilt, all the external influences from anyone else, it all stopped. And this led me to this realization that thoughts limit your success. Your success door is currently locked because you limit yourself. You place limitations upon yourself. You limit the amount of money you can earn. You limit your life. You limit your lifestyle. And if you are in charge of your life, if you are the king of your life, why would you decide to limit yourself? Why would you decide to restrict your power? Because you still care about what other people think. You still care about this, you still care about that. Once you realize that all your cares are actually fears. Everything is fear. I was watching a documentary by some guy on YouTube, and he went to this tribe in Zimbabwe, I think, one of those countries. He went to this tribe and he said, he was speaking to the tribe leader, the leader who was a very happy person. He asked the tribe leader, how do you teach your children? How do you bring them up? Because he was interested in this. The tribe leader said, we grab the baby by the foot when they're young and we swing them like that, swing them up and down. To a westernized person, that would seem ridiculous. Why on earth would you swing your baby like that upside down? Surely you're creating this fear inside the baby by just swinging it around like it's a toy, like it's a Barbie doll, swinging it around. The tribe leader said that he swings the baby around to teach the baby the difference between fear and pain. And there is a difference between fear and pain. And when I went into the ice plunge the other day, I haven't done it in a while. Last time I did it for 9 minutes. My body afterwards, I was in pure bliss, but it took a while to heat up, warm up. I was in there for 9 minutes. Okay, I'll talk about that quickly. In the ice plunge, because this will help you. In the ice plunge, I was there for 9 minutes. I focused on my breath. I had extreme focus, extreme attention and concentration on my breath. And when I concentrated solely with a sole singular focus on my breath, all the other feelings stopped. I turned off the sensation of cold on my body. It didn't feel like cold anymore. I didn't perceive it as pain. I only got out because I looked at the clock and it was 9 minutes. I thought, oh, I probably don't want to die, possibly. And that's why I got out. But I thought, see how that was a thought? I thought I was going to die, so I'd get out. People have done ice plunges for longer, so I probably would have been fine. But the difference between fear and pain, fear is something you imagine. It's an imagined thing. The baby being swung around by the tribe leader, when he grows up, he probably doesn't fear the same things you do. This mini warrior who's been brought up in a tribe doesn't fear much. The difference between fear and pain for this guy would be if a lion came up to him and bit him on the arm, that would be pain. Everything else is fear, everything else is an illusion. So these thoughts you have, things that you've been programmed into your own mind, they limit your success, and this is why your success door is locked. As soon as you start to charge like a bull, be like a raging bull, a buffalo, charge, like headbutt through these imagined walls, you will soon realize nothing can hurt you. I had this realization the other day because I fell back into thinking about fear and externalizing why I couldn't do something, until I realized and looked back on my life and said, at every point in my life I have challenged the rules. At every point I have done things that people would feel threatened by or not agree with. I have constantly pushed myself and pushed the boundaries. And I have realized that in doing so, no one actually does anything. No one does anything. I made videos about politics when I was younger. People were outraged, the amount of anger and abuse I received. No one does anything. I think I had one person come up to me in real life and he didn't even have the balls to do anything. So fear is an illusioned thing. So do you actually ask yourself these deep questions, such as, who am I? What's my purpose? What is this yearning for freedom? Why do I feel different? If you ask yourself right now and I ask you, who are you? You'd give an answer. You'd say, I'm Jaden Harris, I was born in the UK, or I'm John Bob, I was born in Grimsby. These are identities. These are things that the world has put onto us. It's not really you. It's not you. So once you decide that you can be anything you want to be, why would you just be John Bob from Grimsby? Why won't you be John Bob, the millionaire who retired his family, who broke all limitations, who transformed himself from fearful, externalizing his power, to happy, content, internalizing his power, changing the world? That's what I'm speaking about here on this channel. Self-mastery, self-growth, changing the world. Now there's a thing called the Socratic method, and this is where you ask yourself logically, why? So you start with a statement, you say, okay, why do I believe this? I believe this because, and then you identify another thought. Then you say, okay, why do I believe that? And you'll realize that everything, you can go on forever. Everything will go back to a root cause because the universe operates on cause and effect, the laws of cause and effect. Everything you do in your life, okay, let's cut the crap. You are the cause of your suffering. You are the cause of your pain. You are also the cause of your joy. You're also the cause of your contentment and happiness. Why would you deliberately and intentionally cause pain and suffering to yourself? Why would you do that? It's nonsense. Do you hate yourself? Maybe. But where you are right now in this comfort zone is exactly where the world wants you to be. People perceive doing uncomfortable things as pain, and I got called a masochist. You're doing things, you're a masochist. That's basically what I got called. I went to Thailand, solo traveled, started doing things that were considered extreme. I got called a masochist for it. But no, the masochists are the people that stay stuck, that live this mindless 9-to-5 lifestyle, where they're just operating on code. Being uncomfortable is where you grow. Being in that state of, look, you're uncomfortable where you are right now. You do not like life right now. You may be too comfortable that you don't want to change, but deep down you do not like your life. So you're in a state of misery anyway. You're just manifesting constant misery. So why don't you do some uncomfortable things? Uncomfortable, with the knowledge that it will grow. And every risk you take will grow you, because nothing is ever a negative, everything is a positive. Every experience, every lesson, every failure I've ever had has been a vital lesson to push me to be a better person. So how do you unlock this success door? You don't identify as someone who is successful. You identify as John Bob from Grimsby, who works this 9-to-5 job, who lives this boring lifestyle, who's comfortable, miserable, who does not like his life. You identify as that person. You need to start identifying, and I go into it in so much more detail on my one-to-one coaching program. It's called the Reality Creator Program. And actually, I'm gonna just say it to you guys. This program is all my knowledge, everything I've learned, how I've become Jaden Harris, the one who is rich, the one who is abundant, the one who is wealthy, the one who has all these great things and attributes that you do not currently have. I've put all the knowledge, all the lessons I've gone through, all the combined and collective experience I've had to go through in this Reality Creator Program. You will not have access to the certain bits of information that I have had access to. You may have come across it online, but there's so much information, you can't even decipher what is what. You're looking online, distracted by short form content, dopamine, whatever. These are distractions. You scroll, work hard, work 18 hours a day. You scroll, there's another guy saying you need to work 1 hour a day. Just relax, bro, it's all fine. Your life's fine. What is the truth here? What is the balance? And this is my purpose now. This is my job. My purpose is to change the world, and I want to share the knowledge, the power, the awareness that you can change your life. It happened for me. And if it happened for me, it can happen for anyone else. I truly believe that. And I believe with all my heart, everyone who works with me will have a better life. Everyone who works with me will have a better life, because once you start on this journey, it may be painful because you grow and you're doing uncomfortable things, but once you start, your life will transform in ways that you have never imagined, because you can't imagine it. John Bob from Grimsby working a 9-to-5 job. At the moment, your current reality, you cannot imagine it. When you work a job, you don't have time to start thinking about these things. As soon as you go unemployed, that's why we have the meme about the unemployed friend who starts becoming a conspiracy theorist and crazy nut job, because he has so much time on his hands that he's realized the truth. I spent a good part of my life, about 8 months unemployed, just sat in my room thinking. It's not fun. I wouldn't advise it. I'm giving you the information now because I've had to go through all that. But your success door is locked, and the key is how you perceive yourself. If you'd like to open this success door, get the key, scan it on the door, and free your mind, free yourself, and you can work with me via the link below.